Hi, today I'm going to talk about the false advertisement of pharmaceutical companies. So I'm going to jump in right ahead. I'm going to start with the history of drugs. So the human body is capable of many things. One of those things, unfortunately, is being subjected to diseases, to infections, to coughs, etc. So as human beings, we want to fix these things. We want to figure out what it is, what can we do to not get a cold, what can we do to not get an STD or etc., or not be depressed. And so one of those things was creating medicine, creating a pill or a bottle of something that could help with that issue. And one of those things that we decided to be looking at are what agents can we use, like plants, like water, food, animals. What chemicals can we extract from these things that can help with the diseases that we might be going through, or the affection that we might be, our body might be fighting against. So as humans, we look at these things, and a lot of companies came out making drugs, producing products that proclaimed that they were helping with a specific issue. However, they were having adverse side effects towards it. One of the biggest issue in 2002 was Prozac. So doctors were only prescribing these drugs to patients with no idea that the clinical trials that they went through all failed. They all failed, but doctors were prescribing these drugs because Prozac said that our drug helps with depression. And that was an issue in 2002. But prior to that, the American government started a program called the FDA. And the FDA was an idea initiated by Harvard Wiley. Harvard Wiley said that we needed to protect the American people from companies that make drugs, that make food, that make devices that humans can use, animals can use, that could affect them. And we need to have limitations and rules for all these companies to follow. Therefore, the FDA. However, now we're in 2002, we still have problems like companies with Prozac, where they're producing a product that does not do what it says it's supposed to do. And people that were on Prozac, there have been instances like shootings where these suspects were using Prozac, committed crimes. And those crimes were because they were so depressed and they were on Prozac. And so it's conflicting because Prozac is supposed to not cause people depression. It's supposed to not cause people to be violent and shoot people. But however, that was a problem. Another issue was GSK or GlaxoSmithKline. This company pleaded guilty and they paid $3 billion for, sorry, I can't find my slide here, for bribing doctors to prescribe their drug to patients, paying for vacations to prescribe their drugs to patients. And this isn't an issue of if the drug does what it does. But the problem is that one of the limitations on pharmaceutical companies is to you can't advertise your drug on TV. You can do that. However, you cannot bribe people to promote your drug. And This was a case that happened in 2014, and they had to pay $3 billion for that offense. So, what are the solutions? Alright, so one of the solutions that I came up with is to tighten FDA regulations, increase penalties, and higher limitations on direct-to-customer. So what is this term, direct-to-customer? Direct-to-customer is when a pharmaceutical company or whatever company promotes their products on TV, or promotes their product on the radio, promotes their product in magazines, etc. That is the pharmaceutical company coming to you, coming to your home, coming to your magazine, to tell you, use my drug. It would do this and that and that. So, what are the things that the FDA does for a drug to be out there? One of those things is to go through 3 phases. So, the 3 phases are phase 1. In phase 1, an application is to be filled out. An application is filled out and provided to the FDA board. Testings and findings are completed by the company itself, and a clinical trial consisting of 20 to 100 healthy human subjects is ran for about 7 months. And then within these 7 months, they evaluate safety of the drug as well as the biological toll that it might affect on the human body. And then once phase 1 has positive results, they go down to phase 2. Phase 2 again goes through another set of clinical trials where it provides safety and it does not harm the human body. Again in phase 3, with a larger sum of samples, human beings, animals, etc., where again the drug is safe and does not affect the human body. And once all those clinical trials are done, they are sent to the FDA, and the FDA approves it once they have done their tests as well. Alongside with those tests, the FDA also visits the companies and sees if their facility is up to par, sees how their workers perform the manufacturing of the products that they make. And so at work, there are countless times where I would see an FDA person walking right past by looking at what I'm doing. And so that is the job of the FDA, to make sure that these companies do what they're supposed to do, are going by the tests that they've put out there to the public, that they are doing, that these drugs are what they say that they are. And the biggest problem, again, is with the direct to customer. So, one of the penalties that pharmaceutical companies are subjected to if they go against these things is application deferral. A big one is warning letters, press releases, product recalls, product removal of license. So companies can lose their license if they do go against the rules and regulations of the FDA. However, there are still companies that do participate in the misbranding of the product, where it is causing an effect on their consumers, causing an effect on animals, people, whoever uses them. And that is the issue. Okay. So here are a few graphs over here to show how much money pharmaceutical companies use to advertise their drugs. Companies use millions to advertise their drugs because they will make more as they advertise their drugs. And one of the biggest things in these advertisements is they would say that ask your doctor if you're feeling a headache, or ask your doctor if you have this type of symptom. And so a lot of patients visit their doctors with these minor issues and force the doctors to prescribe these medications to them. And although they are within their limitations where they do promote their drugs that way, however, DTC is one of the biggest mediums that pharmaceutical companies make their money. And the issue is, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of putting a drug out there? What is the purpose of putting your product out there if it's not doing what it's meant to do? So that is the biggest issue, and the best solution is to tighten the regulations, limit the amount of direct-to-customer advertisements that these companies are able to do, to and to tighten the FDA approvals, to look at, to deeply look at the products and make sure that they are in fact doing what it's supposed to do, and looking at the percentage of success. So that's it. Thank you.